Well, a number of big things have happened at the box office this week, including K-pop Demon Hunters becoming the first Netflix film ever to be number one at the box office weekend. Again, big congratulations to them on that. But something else very quietly kind of happened. Superman did something I did not think it would do. It crossed the $600 million mark. Now, I want to put that into perspective about how big of a deal that is and why I think it's rather impressive. First of all, I've been saying for a couple of years now that I don't expect Superman to be good, but don't expect it to do well because it's going to take time for it to win back the audience that the DCEU burned so badly and destroyed the reputation and lost the audience. It's going to take Superman, it's going to take the DCU a while to get them all back. And you got to start with a great movie. Well, it was a great movie. Huge critic scores, huge audience scores. People loved it, blah, blah, blah. And it has done better than I thought it would do. So much so that it's the first comic book film in over a year to break the $600 million mark. Take a look at this. Since Deadpool and Wolverine, which was over a year ago, we've had 5 comic book movies come out. 3 of them MCU movies.
Craven got a bad rap.
3 of them MCU movies. Craven, oh my God. Sorry, I get this little fire of rage burning in my belly whenever I think about that movie. Anyway, Craven deservedly made only $62 million. Captain America 4, which was not very good, made $415 million. As a result of it not being all that good, it hurt Thunderbolts, which was never going to do great anyway because it's a bunch of B-list characters, but still, Thunderbolts was fantastic, ended up making $382 million. Fantastic Four, which is still in theaters, going to climb over $500 million, but a little bit of an improvement, partially thanks to Thunderbolts being so good. Fantastic Four has currently made $490 million. But Superman, guys, imagine a time when we would have ever said there's a DC movie that's going to make more than the previous 3 MCU movies that came out. It's inconceivable. Like, seriously, inconceivable that could ever happen, yet here we are. Superman has now crossed the $600 million mark for the first time of any comic book film in over a year. Other thing that's interesting too, it is currently the number 6 highest grossing movie of the year overall. If you want to get some comparison, if we look at, say, Man of Steel, my favorite Superman movie, my boy Henry here, most underrated comic book film of all time, by the way, it ranked as the 9th biggest film of that year. If you want to look at it in comparison to its own contemporaries. So Superman is doing quite well. And by the way, by the time the year's over, it could very well stay in the top 10 highest grossing films of the year, much like Man of Steel did. I mean, it's at number 6 right now. The only 3 films that I can see passing it are obviously Avatar. I think Zootopia 2 can pass $600 million. Because, the first one was $1 billion film.
Wicked for Good.
And Wicked for Good has a very solid chance of passing. Because what did Wicked make at the box office?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now.
I think it was around $700 million.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. And I think the sequel doesn't have the big iconic song in it.
756.
How much?
756.
756. The sequel doesn't have the big iconic song in it, but people loved Wicked. And so that's going to do well. So I could see those 3. So I could see Superman and Man of Steel appropriately both ending as the number 9 films of their respective years that they came out. But again, it's all about context. This movie had, and I've been talking for years about it, this movie had everything working against it. Everything working against it. The fact that this is the 49th Superman we've had in the last 6 months, practically. The fact that the DCEU was completely run into the ground. The fact that the audience had completely abandoned the DCEU with, like, the last 4 films, only like one of them exceeding $300 million at the box office. The fact that this was a brand new thing, totally different take, and yet it comes out and in its contemporary setting beats out every other comic book that come out in the last 3 years, including 3 Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier in the show, for those of you watching this segment later on, earlier in the full live show, we were talking about how somebody asked, who's more likely to have the next billion-dollar film, Marvel or DC? The answer to that is clearly Marvel. Because in as rough of a state as it's in, it's got a Spider-Man movie coming and it's got an Avengers movie coming.
Yeah.
Like that's going to do, it's going to take a while for the DCU to build up to that point. You know, I'm sure Supergirl's going to be great. I'm sure Clayface is going to be great whenever they get around to the Batman movie and the Wonder Woman movie and what have you, but it's going to take some time. But this is a huge thing for them in context. It's quite remarkable. Anyway, Rob, you see that Superman did cross the $600 million mark, $605 million. By the way, it crossed it while it's already now out on VOD.
Yeah.
So what lessons do you take away from this when you look at this chart?
Well, the first being that people want superhero movies to be good.
Yes.
They want them to be good. And I don't think the genre is dead. I think if you give, regardless of your feelings about Superman, it was pretty damn entertaining. Like, I really enjoyed it. I really had a good time at the movies. It provided the entertainment jolt that I think you're looking for from a film. Now, maybe it wasn't the perfect Superman movie for you, but there's no denying that it was a rousing, entertaining time at the theater. For me, it was, at least. I know some people might feel differently. But it shows that people want to go to these movies. It shows the viability of DC as a brand. I think it shows the characters, and now we've seen some of them in Peacemaker. So there's going to be even more of a legacy other than Superman that's going to lead into whatever, well, into Supergirl. I don't know if Supergirl's going to wind up in Peacemaker. It wouldn't surprise me if she does. Like, at least
she kind of already did previously in the DCU.
She did. And I mean, I could see her getting hammered with Peacemaker. You know, I don't know if she's going to go to one of his orgies, but I wouldn't mind it if she did. But I do think I do think that it's a great thing. You know, F1 also passed the $600 million mark as well.
Yes, it did.
And I think that this shows there's this idea that everyone talks about $1 billion grosses. Those are few and far between. And the fact that we have these two movies, very different movies, each having very robust box office, is a good thing for theatrical. And I think it's great. I think it's good. I think it bodes well for the future of DC and the Superman character.
And that's the important thing too here. It's like, this is the first time in a long time that I feel like two big significant things. Number one, Disney had Bob Iger come back and restore Kevin Feige's actual control over the MCU, which had been taken away from him. And number two, James Gunn has come in to relaunch the DCU. About 10, 11, 12 years ago, we had some dreams of a movie world where we had exciting and successful and thriving Marvel and DC movies.
Yeah.
That promise never came to pass, unfortunately.
No.
But I feel like we're back at that point again where we can start to see that there's actually a future where we could have wonderful Marvel movies and wonderful DC movies. And, you know, we ultimately win. We're the ones who win when that happens. And again, maybe DC goes downhill. Maybe Marvel goes downhill from here. Maybe the promise remains unfulfilled like it did 12 years ago. Or maybe this time it kind of works out. I'll tell you what, Rob, I feel more optimistic about it now because, like, when Man of Steel came out, which is a beloved movie to me, I recognized right away a lot of people hated it. And the majority of the people were not digging it. And
no.
I could kind of tell right away, even though I loved it, I could tell this isn't going to turn into the promise that we were hoping. Unlike then, the critics and the audience loved Superman. And I feel like, and Peacemaker, I mean, just look at the reviews and look at the fan reactions and look at all that kind of stuff. Peacemaker right now is crushing it. I feel like right now, and especially with Spider-Man coming and Avengers Doomsday, I feel that promise again, that 4 or 5 years from now, we could be looking at something really good.
I'm right there with you. You know, I think that's exactly right. And people want these movies to be good. They want that flavor back in their lives. And look, as much as I was talking earlier about Avengers Doomsday being disappointing, because that was the question, I have high hopes for it. I have high hopes for Spider-Man. I'm expecting to really like both of those movies because I got to tell you, I don't know if the X-Men are going to fight the Avengers. I don't know what's going to happen. But to see the old X-Men back, the gang back together, and I think Hugh Jackman will be one of them, to see the X-Men fight another day really appeals to me. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, they brought back the old X-Men to fight. They're going to get wiped from existence or whatever. But man, show me the Avengers against the X-Men. Give me just a little taste, a little battle. I'm excited.
It's like, who would have thought? By the way, with Ian McKellen,
Dude,
standing up at that Lord of the Rings fan event and announcing he was coming back as Gandalf. Imagine this 15 years ago. They were talking about, oh, by the way, in 2025, we're going to be looking forward to Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto and Gandalf.
I want to, that's crazy.
It's nuts.
And I want to see Xavier and Magneto fight side by side, like kick some major ass. I'm looking, whatever that ass is. I want to see some ass. I want to see it kicked. I want to see Xavier and Magneto dropping the smack down. Give it to me.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? For the first time in over a year, only one film, and it wasn't a Marvel film, has crossed the $600 million line. By the way, I see some people in live chat debating about, is 600 million the new billion? I think maybe 800 million is the new billion, because remember, more billion-dollar films came out in 2018 than have come out in the 7 years since. Like, it's just a different world now. So I don't know. Anyway, guys, whatever you think about all this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.